What's up, everybody, and welcome on back to the episode of the My Side of Things podcast. This is now episode 31. I'm your host, as always, Ash. We got a whole lot of things on the docket to get to today, including talking about Collision, possibly moving from Saturdays to a different day. We got to talk about Money in the Bank as well and everything that transpired from it, including Mr. R-Truth, R-Trizzle, Ron Killings making his return to WWE. And we also got to talk about Shotzi and Sonya talking about a few things WWE and NXT wise. But before we get into all that, though, no matter where you listen to this, that would be on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. Make sure you just do the like, subscribe, share, notification bells, all that stuff that you can possibly do to help out the podcast any more than y'all already have been. I appreciate everybody's been checking out the podcast. The podcast starting to get a couple more views, man. We starting to get a couple more views now. So shout out to all y'all. Shout out to the Patreon subs as well. Y'all gonna be right here. Remember, if you are on Patreon, you will get this a little earlier, and I think I might even actually drop this a day earlier for those of y'all that are on Patreon, because I think I might end up dropping this on Monday instead of Sunday. But if you're on Patreon, though, you will get a little bit earlier. But let's go ahead and get into just the biggest thing of this whole entire weekend that transpired. I'm going to talk about Collision actually after Money in the Bank and all that stuff, because Money in the Bank, oh man, baby, there's a lot that came out of this. And I think I'm so glad I actually didn't do this live, because I would have gave WWE way too much credit that they did not deserve, because I didn't watch the post show until like way afterwards. And just a lot of things that came out of the post show, watching around TikTok, seeing one of my mutuals on TikTok, YTTO Sales, he actually posted a video about Triple H with LA Knight 2023. That definitely reminded me of my video that I made on LA Knight being fumbled by WWE. But let's go ahead and just start there, man. I mean, obviously for the men's Money in the Bank, I did pick Seth Rollins to win. I said it makes the most sense to have Seth Rollins win. It was the perfect storyline there. Seth Rollins cashing in on either Jay or Gunther, or just cashing in on that match. It makes sense. It protects Jay, it protects Gunther. It allows Jay to go right back to being a babyface. Well, go right back to being a chaser and not looking weak, so that, when he does have a big match against Seth Rollins, whenever he does get that big match, it's not like as if, Jay just looks like he cannot beat Seth Rollins, because he did beat him on the Monday Night Raw show, and then, he's getting cashed in on. And for Gunther, if you have just Gunther lose cleanly, I think it just continues to make Gunther look weaker and weaker, and that's what it's kind of been doing over this past about 2 months now. It would be going on about 2.5 months now. So it's like you want to protect both of them. You have Seth Rollins win the Money in the Bank, cash in, makes so much sense, and it's the easiest way to, take the power in a sense. But good God, man, LA Knight was balling in this match. In my opinion, he was the MVP of this match. And it sucks that usually the guy who's the MVP of the match doesn't really ever get the Money in the Bank unless you're like Damian Priest, because that's usually what happens in Money in the Bank. The one that's balling out never really gets the win. And it sucks for LA Knight, because that video that my mutual did post was about Triple H saying that great things come to those who wait. Not even just good things, great things come to those who wait. I don't believe a piss poor U.S. title reign and then another piss poor U.S. title reign were the great things, in my opinion. He did really much of nothing during that U.S. title reign. You didn't kind of evolve his character in any way, shape, or form. You didn't give him any kind of like good feud. You had him ruin a Game 7 instead of giving him a good feud against somebody. Then you had him get dethroned by Shinsuke, which literally led to nothing, because Shinsuke did nothing with that run either. You did absolutely nothing with this man's run, so that couldn't have been the great thing. Then in 2024, you had the big opportunity to put the Money in the Bank briefcase onto LA Knight. He could have dethroned, I don't really know, because even when I look at 2024, it's just like, you clearly already had some long-term stories set up there with Jay and with Gunther. So, you needed Jay to eventually be the guy to dethrone Gunther, I guess make it even bigger. But you did nothing really with that storyline either, though. So there's that. Oh, man. And then on the other side, you had Cody. You probably want to have LA Knight dethrone Cody, because you had Cena wanting to dethrone Cody. You could have done 2023, but you really wanted Damian Priest. So you could have the whole big breakup of the Judgment Day be at SummerSlam. So it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know when LA Knight gets his opportunity, because it's just like WWE just runs off of long-term storytelling. And right now, he's not dethroning Seth Rollins, so you're not going to... So you couldn't even put the Money in the Bank briefcase on to LA Knight, because he wasn't going to dethrone Seth Rollins. That's just already a thing. That's going to likely be Sami Zayn or CM Punk, or maybe even Roman Reigns. One of them is going to happen at WrestleMania. Probably not going to have him dethrone Cody Rhodes either, even though I Look, I'm not saying I put together the best storyline in the world, but I did put together a storyline where I thought LA Knight could win the Money in the Bank. Cody Rhodes would lose in his match against John Cena. Not the match at Money in the Bank. They would win that match. It'd be fine. He'd get his opportunity. But John Cena would continue to just use more and more heel tactics to get over Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes would keep fighting against the whole wanting to turn heel, even though he said he would do whatever it takes to get the Money in the Bank. To get the WWE Championship from John Cena. And we did see that during the Money in the Bank match that he was going past the ref really to get at John Cena. He was doing whatever he possibly could. So it's like, we would see that more and more and more and more, but it just would never be enough until finally Cody just snaps and he sees LA Knight with the Money in the Bank briefcase. And then, he goes, when LA Knight goes to cash in the briefcase on John Cena, here comes Cody Rhodes. And then the next week on SmackDown, LA Knight would be questioning, why Cody did this. And Cody would just be like, look, dude, you were there for WrestleMania 40 with me, yet you never helped me out against the Bloodline. So clearly it feels like you're trying to take my shine. You never helping out against the Bloodline led to me having to team up with Roman, because the fact that the Bloodline took out my guys KO and Randy, and me teaming up with Roman eventually led to KO turning heel. And because KO turned heel, not only did I lose more friends in Randy and Sammy, but KO also got hurt. You could throw that into like the whole kayfabe thing, but like, oh, KO got hurt because he turned heel and all that stuff. Obviously, no, he has a real injury, but you could blame the injury on like LA Knight in a sense if he really wanted to, at least from Cody's point of view, because he would just be so spiraling downwards that he wouldn't be able to think completely straight. So then Cody's like, well, now I'm going to take everything from you because you tried taking everything from me. It'd be full circle of Cody trying to take everything from Roman Reigns. And then Cody does get the Money in the Bank briefcase from LA Knight in like a match wherever you want to have it. And then Cody cashes in on Cena, gets the money or gets WWE Championship, is able to quote unquote save wrestling. But it's not enough now because now Cody's the bad guy. And then eventually LA Knight would go on to get the super big mega baby face just run where he gets to dethrone Cody Rhodes and everybody's cheering and all that stuff. I'm not saying that's the greatest thing in the world, but I'm saying, like, is this not a possible thought? Is something like this not a possible thought? You could do it next year, but buddy, are we gonna? Well, no, you can't even do it next year because John Cena's retiring this year. So unless you're gonna have John Cena retire next year and then just say that this whole retirement tour was a sham, which would just be stupid in my opinion if you did, because you already kind of have been doing some stupid things this year. I don't think you want to keep doing that. It's like, I don't think you want John Cena holding the belt until all the way until like next year. Good God, that would be horrible. And you're not having LA Knight win King of the Ring either. You're not doing it. We're not getting LA Knight versus John Cena at SummerSlam. I can tell you that right now. It's either gonna be Cody Rhodes, it's gonna be CM Punk. It's gonna be one of those two. Maybe even Roman Reigns wins it to go on to face Seth Rollins if he does win, the World Heavyweight title after Monday and all that stuff. So it's like, you're not having that happen. Okay, so we're not gonna have LA Knight win King of the Ring. We didn't have him win Money in the Bank. Does he win next year? Does he like let's be real, does he win next year? Let's say Cody Rhodes wins it this year. Let's say Seth Rollins wins it this year. Seth Rollins goes on to get dethroned by, I don't know, let's say CM Punk or Sami Zayn. Okay, LA Knight's probably not going to go after those two because of the fact that they're both faces. It won't really make much sense. Who the hell dethrones Cody Rhodes? Like, what heel on SmackDown dethrones Cody? Because Cody likely gets the belt. I don't think it's going to be Roman, because Roman's probably going to be going after Seth soon. So it's like Drew McIntyre? Are we having LA Knight cash in on Drew McIntyre? Maybe? I don't know. LA Knight has it's crazy too, because I feel like everybody's been asking so much of LA Knight. They ask LA Knight to, be more interesting. Okay, boom, Max Dupree to LA Knight. Fantastic. Then you ask LA Knight, well, then you say LA Knight can't wrestle. Okay, so if LA Knight starts adding a few more, high-flying moves in his arsenal to be a lot more entertaining in the ring. See this beautiful freaking back body suplex off the ladder. We see, missile drop kicks. We see some neck breakers off the ropes. We see some suplexes off the ropes and all that stuff. So it's like, off the top rope. So it's like, he adds things in and it's still not enough. When is it ever going to be the point for LA Knight? Like, I hate to say this because I feel like this guy did earn this. And I know people were trying to say oh, well, one guy's put in X amount of years while this guy hasn't. Jey Uso got the Money in the Bank, got the World Heavyweight Championship, not because of the 14 years. I think that was taken into consideration, but it's not because of the 14 years. It's because of what he did from Bloodline to now. So 4 years. 4 years. He was the right-hand man. He was an intricate part of the Bloodline storyline. He eventually became main event Jey Uso. Actually, I guess around the Bloodline storyline, but actually in the beginning. But then he officially became main event Jey Uso when he went to Monday Night Raw, got super over, merch sales, all this stuff. Okay, so he does all that, and it's enough for him to get the World Heavyweight title. But LA Knight gives you amazing match against Roman Reigns, gives you amazing 2023, gives you amazing 2022, gives you an amazing 2023, gives you an amazing 2024, and still not enough. It's still not enough. He even gave you a great WrestleMania match against Jacob Fatu when all of us thought that match was likely not going to be that good. So it's like, what does the guy do? What does this man do to be able to finally get his? He's constantly interfered on once again. Oh my God, once again. It's the Bloodline. It's some iteration of the Bloodline getting involved in an LA Knight match. Like, oh my God, dude, at this point, it's becoming a headache with the blood. Like, this is why I've said the Bloodline is not as great. The Bloodline is not as great, and it's because they're constant, like, it feels like they're Borutoing the Bloodline, where it's like, and look, mind you, I really love Boruto's anime, hate the manga. Boruto's manga is starting to make Naruto look really bad. It's starting to make Naruto look really bad to the point where people are saying that One Piece and Bleach are just clearing Naruto. The reason why they say that is because Boruto's so bad. This Bloodline storyline, like just the multiple now iteration of the Bloodline and all this stuff, it's making the original Bloodline look bad. It really is. It's just so many attacks after 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 attacks. It's so many interferences after interferences after interferences after interferences after interferences. It's like, oh my God. They interfere with Kevin Owens. They interfere with Drew McIntyre. They interfere with Cody Rhodes. They interfere with LA Knight. And I feel like all of these guys got their comeuppance in the most part. KO didn't really get a world title, but I think that was never going to be KO's thing. But he did eventually get the super big storyline with Cody Rhodes and all that stuff. And he technically was like a world champion in a technical sense. Drew McIntyre got the Money in the Bank briefcase. Drew McIntyre got World Heavyweight Championship. Mind you, he kind of, got both of those for like 5 seconds. But still, he got them. Cody Rhodes obviously got his. Sami Zayn, you can even say, got his. Cody, and actually KO and Sami both got the Undisputed Tag titles. They got a Mania main event match. So they all got theirs. If there's anybody I'm missing, Randy Orton hasn't got his yet, but I assume that's just because Randy Orton's like 45, 46 years old, and he's a freaking legend and has all his stuff. So yada, yada, yada. Same thing for AJ Styles as well. So it's just LA Knight. It's literally just, oh my God, even Jey Uso got his by having the Bloodline interfere multiple times as well. So it's like, it's literally just LA Knight who has not got his yet. And it's like, when does it happen? When is it finally time for LA Knight to get to the mountaintop? And mind you, I'm not even like, I already know what's going to happen when LA Knight gets to the mountaintop. Oh, LA Knight's boring. I want someone else to win. I want the heel to get the belt back because LA Knight sucks. He can't wrestle. He can't talk on the mic. He has no charisma. He's boring. I know it's going to happen already. I'm personally not going to say it. I'm going to be happy when LA Knight gets his because good God, man, like, oh my gosh, this is awful. Like, I know that, like, I've even said, like, before that, like, I'm starting to kind of get less and less interested with LA Knight, and it's mainly just because he hasn't had an evolution of his character anymore, because, like, I wish, like, he would kind of turn like a tweener now at this point, but it's like, I'm less exhausted of the LA Knight run, and I'm more annoyed with Triple H and his stupid bullshit that he keeps doing with LA Knight. And not even just that, but something we're going to talk about in a minute as well. It's just like, oh, it's so awful, man. But like I said, it makes sense for Seth Rollins to win the Money in the Bank. It makes 100% sense. I just really hate long-term storytelling. I really do, because I feel like you don't need it every single damn time. You don't. Cody Rhodes did not need a year-long run with the belt. I love Cody Rhodes. He didn't need it. A good 5-6 months, lose it at SummerSlam, great. You could have ran a John Cena storyline at SummerSlam. You really could have. I don't need this shit. Like it is not needed. Because mind you, it wasn't even a good storyline. It wasn't, because John Cena's shit has been boring. Like, you have that long-term storytelling. And you have the whatever title has multiple different long-term storytelling besides Gunther's. Gunther's was a good refresher. Like, after Seth lost it, it was a good refresher with Damian Priest, Gunther, because, you know, that was very refreshing. Not long-term storytelling. Well, no. Well, no, Damian Priest actually was. Hit that back. Gunther's wasn't long-term storytelling. Damian Priest was, because the whole Judgment Day breakup and all that stuff. But it's like, I think, how do I word this in a way that's like PG? Let me see. The same way that I feel every time I see my girl is the exact same way that Triple H feels every time he sees fans glazing the long-term storytelling. Like, when I see my girl, oh, baby, let me tell you right now. Yeah. But, like, when Triple H sees all y'all mofos online talking about oh my God, the long-term storytelling. Look at that, guys. Last year, Finn Balor was getting interfered on because Damian Priest had the Money in the Bank. So, oh my God, man, when Damian Priest got screwed over by Finn Balor, it was so amazing. Oh my gosh, guys, look at the long-term storytelling. Seth, Roman, they came in with CM Punk. Oh man, they came in as a Shield, but then they eventually had this like feud with the Shield. But then they had like this whole breakup and all that. So, oh my God, guys, the main event cinema. Oh my gosh, but then Seth Rollins, like, he gets such a high off of it. This dude gets so excited by it that I think he's just not gonna stop doing it because he gets so excited by like it gets this man going more than Stephanie McMahon does. Like, oh my God, man. So I don't think we're ever gonna get rid of long-term storytelling because of this. Because he gets so excited from it. And it's just like, oh my gosh, man. Oh my gosh. It's like, I don't want to say it's ruining WWE by any means, because I think there's not really an issue with WWE having longer title reigns. I don't really mind them, to be honest. I didn't really like when there was like 30 different title reigns in 1 year for like a damn championship. But if there was like, 10, I wouldn't mind 10 different World Heavyweight title reigns. Maybe even less. If you want to, there's 12 months in a year. There's 4 quarters in a year. If there was like 4 to 5 World Heavyweight champions per year, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't. I don't think it'd be that bad. Like, if for certain storylines need it, okay, cool. Did Gunther need a hold it from SummerSlam all the way to WrestleMania? No, sweetie. No, I think Jey Uso could have got that belt at any time. I think Jey Uso winning the Intercontinental Championship was better than him winning the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm also going to say that as well. I was more excited to see him win the Intercontinental than I was to see him win the World Heavyweight Championship. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think WWE has got to figure out a way of not doing long-term storytelling with every single storyline. And y'all got to stop just glazing the fuck out of this, bro. I think a lot of y'all might be One Piece fans, because my goodness, man. There's a reason why Oda keep extending this damn story. My goodness, man. But as far as the Women's Money in the Bank match, we're finally getting on to the next match. As far as the Women's Money in the Bank match, and it's going to be crazy because somebody just made a whole comment saying that you hate, someone said, why do you hate Nikki Bella? And someone's like, she's a woman, that's why. And it's like, I'm not going to talk long about the woman right now. So like, it feels like, oh my God. Oh my gosh. But like, to be fair, there's nobody in this women's match that really needed the Money in the Bank other than Naomi. So had Naomi not won it, even though I'm like in Team Roxanne right now, so it's fuck Naomi, it's big fuck Naomi. Had she not won it, I would have came in here and made a few jokes. But then I also would have went on like a 30-minute monologue about how Naomi actually needed to win the Money in the Bank, because the same way that it makes sense for Seth Rollins to win it is the exact same reason that it makes sense for Naomi to win it as well. So I'm not mad about Naomi winning it at all. I mean, hey, I would have loved for Rhea to win it or Roxanne to win it. Rhea, here's the reason why I say Rhea. Real quick, I guess I can get on to this. We can actually get this 30-minute monologue. Women empowerment. But here's my thing with Rhea and why I kind of low-key started thinking maybe Rhea should just win it. We're going to get Rhea with Queen of the Ring. We're probably, like, I don't even know how the hell we're gonna get Jade to win Queen of the Ring, because how do you get Rhea versus Io Sky? I mean, she could always just go to Adam Pearce, but it's like, I think they're going to have Rhea win Queen of the Ring. And I think they're going to get Jade into that match just because of the fact that Jade kind of already called her shot next for Tiffany Stratton. So they might actually have to cash in and be at Evolution and not be at SummerSlam, which is fine. I mean, I don't mind that by any means. I think it's going to be really good. I hate it for Jade because I feel like Jade should win Queen of the Ring. Like, it would be a really, really cool moment to see Jade win Queen of the Ring and then go on to face possibly Bianca Belair at SummerSlam in the main event, but we're probably not going to get that. We're likely going to get Rhea versus Io in the main event, not even in the main event, probably like in the opening of SummerSlam, and then we'll probably get Rhea winning there, and then we'll get Rhea versus probably Stephanie Valkyria at whatever that Australia show is. So that's why, like, that's kind of like the reason why I wanted Rhea to win Money in the Bank, is because then maybe Jade could have won the Queen of the Ring tournament. Maybe Tiffany could keep holding it until SummerSlam, and then you get Tiffany versus Jade at SummerSlam with maybe Naomi cashing in. I was talking to one of my boys, Zodiac, and he said that maybe we could get Bianca winning at some point in time, but she's still injured, so I don't know if she's going to be able to come back and just immediately take the title off of Tiffany. I mean, it is Bianca Belair. I definitely would do it. Especially because that whole storyline there of Bianca, Jade, Naomi. You could have Bianca and Jade in a match if Naomi cashed in, costing both of them. And then maybe that goes into their feud. Like, you know, one feels like the other. You know, like maybe like Jade feels like because, you know, Naomi's so obsessed with Bianca that Naomi cashed in because of her. And Bianca gets upset with Jade because of the fact that, you know, had, you know, like, I guess you could say, like, had you, I don't know, not came into my life and all that stuff that maybe mine and Naomi's friendship wouldn't have got ruined, so then all this would never happen. I don't know. They could do some like weird explanations there of all that stuff, and it would actually make a lot of sense. So maybe they do that, but I just don't know if it gets the main event. But I really want to get the main event, man. I think that needs to be the main event. Like if we can get Jade versus Bianca, or even like in some world Bianca versus Rhea, those two need to be the main event, especially with the possibility of Naomi cashing in as well on one of those two matches. Yeah, no, it needs to. So that's why I started saying like maybe Rhea should win Money in the Bank, because then we could actually have Jade or Bianca win Queen of the Ring, because I want to see my Black Queens get Queen of the Ring, 1, and 2, I just think it's a much better, you know, storyline than I think Rhea winning Money in the Bank. I mean, Rhea winning the Queen of the Ring, because I don't think she really needs it, but they're definitely going to do it, man, because mommy's on top, that's why. But I'm not mad at Naomi winning it. I think Naomi, like I said, the heel needs to win it. It makes sense when the heel wins it. I think this is the perfect chance to finally get Naomi back into some world title pictures. I loved what Big E was saying, too, about Naomi, you know, that, you know, like they've been together since FCW. They've been, you know, she's been in the business for a very long time. She got her little title reigns back then, but they weren't really like the greatest ones by any means. They were not respected at all by Vince McMahon. She's the one that's been working her ass off. She had to leave to get better, or not really get better, but like to remind folks of how great she is. And then obviously they're the only 2 Black Money in the Bank winners, so that's even, you know, Black excellence right there. Like all jokes aside with Naomi, because I am a big Roxanne Perez fan. All jokes aside, I'm obviously very happy that Naomi did get Money in the Bank. I think it's a very beautiful thing. I was like, you know, I was going like, you know, like, you know, I was ready to, you know, just curling my hands up like, Roxanne. But at the same time, I was like, you know, this makes sense. Like, it makes sense. It's perfect. Like, my bad. If you gave Seth Rollins Money in the Bank because it made sense for his storyline, but then you did not do it for Naomi, I'm calling this man Triple K. I would have just been calling him Triple K. And I probably would have just been off of WWE, like, completely, because that would have been just so fucking stupid, in my opinion. But yeah, no, I think my only problem with this women's match is that you just didn't have any high flyers in the match. You didn't really have any high flyers, so there was not really like too many insane spots. We had the double pop rocks by Roxanne and Alexa Bliss, which was really cool because double pop rocks. Oh man, I can't wait for the Roxanne Alexa Bliss MJF Adam Cole storyline. They're gonna be best of friends. Oh, it's gonna be beautiful, man. My chair is really creaking over here. I don't know why. But yeah, that's going to be absolutely beautiful. We got Roxanne and Julia working together, burying Rhea under the ladders. That was pretty funny. And then Rhea rising up like the damn Undertaker and just destroying both of them. That was funny as hell to me. We didn't have any high flyers, though. We did not have any high flyers. Like, I think this match would have been perfect for Kairi Sane. This is why we probably should have had 8 instead of 6. Would have been perfect for Kairi. Would have been perfect for Zelina. Would have been perfect for... who else is a high flyer in the women's division? Damn, Zoe Stark. Fuck. Oh, man, that would have been perfect for Zoe Stark, man. You know, in a weird world, I wonder if Zoe Stark was actually supposed to win the match. Because, like, This match is just perfect for Zoe Stark. I don't think Rhea needs to be in it at all in the slightest. I wonder if there's a world where Zoe was actually supposed to pin Kyrie to go on to the match. Because one, she would get more heat onto her, and two, again, high flyer in the match. It would have been really cool. But I think they need to bring us some NXT women as well, because you can't cash that belt in on NXT women too. So Kalani, Sol Ruka, they would have been perfect for this match. Probably would have been a great way to introduce Mariah May, but she's not really a high flyer though, so probably not. I like completely blanked on any of the other high flyers in NXT. I just my iPad's dead, so yeah, I can't really look at it now. But yeah, no, I think both Money in the Bank matches were just pretty good. The men's one had a whole lot of just randomness happen during it that made it a lot better. You know what? No, I take back what I said, man. Hold on. If LA Knight is in this Money in the Bank and he's balling the hell out, and El Grande is in the Money in the Bank balling the hell out doing some high-flying stuff, man, there could have been folks doing some high-flying stuff in that woman's match. Like, the only one I could think of is, like, Naomi, but she's a bit older now, so she probably can't do a lot of the high-flying stuff that she used to do. Rhea, you better start pulling out some high-flying moves. I better see, like, a 630 senton from you at some point in time off a ladder. Julia, they should have had Julia do the Northern Lights, the Northern Lights off of the off of like a ladder or something like that, or onto a ladder, maybe not off of a ladder. She's been in a ladder match, by the way, in Stardom, so she would have experience doing some crazy ass shit in that. I'm gonna rewatch that match because I feel like she did do some crazy stuff in that match. She was in there with Tekla too, so my goodness. But then what happened after that? So we had Lyra versus Becky. Awesome match, man. Awesome match. It was easily, in my opinion, the best match of the night. I'm surprised that Becky won, and I'm more surprised by the ending. Because here's my thing. Like, are you having Lyra dethrone Becky at Evolution, which is only like a month away? I don't know if Becky only holds the belt for a month. But I'm not mad at it by any means. I don't think Becky needs to hold it for that long. I think just winning the IC title is just good for Becky. But I just would have had maybe, unless you are planning to go into a Becky-Bayley feud, because at Evolution and Bayley costs Becky, and then we get Bayley versus Becky at SummerSlam. So then Lyra gets the belt back, and then we do Lyra versus Roxanne at SummerSlam maybe. Because I was thinking, like, if you go 2-0, I mean, we'll technically be 3-0, but if you go 2-0 in WWE, at least not NXT, you could have match 3 be at Evolution. But I guess now you're 2-1, but again, technically 1-1 in WWE. So you can do the third match at Evolution. I just think that if you have Becky win and you don't have Bayley interfere, now they're 2-2. You have to break even, right? Unless you're not going to wait that long to break even, because like Omega and Okada, they didn't wait that long because both these guys are up there in age. I don't think you wait that long for Becky and Lyra, because Becky's already 38. Lyra is 28. I mean, obviously she still has plenty of years, but like with Becky being 38, I don't know if you wait that long. Who knows how much longer? I mean, she clearly wants to keep going longer, but who knows how long WWE wants to keep pushing her like this. And who knows how long she can continue to go at like a really high pace. And yeah, I will say that they had the best match of the night, in my opinion. I thought the match was just beautiful. These two women are wrestling soulmates. They have so much chemistry with each other. Yeah, they're just wrestling soulmates with each other. I cannot wait to see another Becky Lyra match, and I hope if it does happen at Evolution, 1, stipulation, 2, I think it needs to main event. I don't care who's going to be there. I don't care what championships are being defended there. I don't care if it's Jade versus Tiffany. It needs to be Becky versus Lyra. They have the most history with each other. They're going to have the best match with each other. Mind you, Jade and Tiffany are going to have a great match as well, because they had a really great one last time. But it needs to be Lyra versus Becky because of just everything you've been building to. We're on long-term storytelling now. Then Triple H, that needs to be the main event. It makes the most sense. I would hate it for like Jade and Tiffany because just the women's championship. If you had like the Raw Women's Championship there too, like EO versus somebody, probably should be one of those two. But like, I think it needs to be Becky versus Lyra because it just makes the most sense. But like I said, absolutely phenomenal match. There was a Dominic Mysterio Octagon match as well. I don't have much to say about this match. It was thrown together last minute. Really dang good match. Showed that Dominic Mysterio can move with the best of them. I think we need to stop sleeping on this man as a luchador. Folks be acting like, he just can't move. That 619 was a thing of beauty. He's just tall as shit. And like, I think that's just really what it is. He's tall. Rey Mysterio's short, has much more I guess he has a much further distance to the ring, so he has to, or to the ropes, so he has to actually run hella fast to the ropes. Dominic Mysterio doesn't because he's tall as shit, so he has to like run a lot slower to the ropes because if he runs too fast, he's gonna overshoot it or it's just not gonna look as smooth. And he's a heel as well, so yeah. But I mean, cool little impromptu match. Didn't need it on the card, don't be real with you. I would have put Io Sky, your women's world champion, who has not been, doing much of anything for the past few weeks now. Hasn't really had a match. Last time she had a match on the 12th of May. It was a tag match. She ain't really done much. Could have done, Io versus Kyrie if we wanted to. Just a little fun match. Nope. Not going to do that one. Okay. Could have done Io versus Rhea. Put Kyrie in the Money in the Bank. No. Not going to do that one either. Okay. Could have done anything else, really? I would have taken Io versus Tiffany. And just like a champion versus champion, no belt on the line, just who's the better champion match. I would have took that. Hell, I would have took Tiffany in a match. Could it put Tiffany on the card? No? Okay. So there was no fear of Tiffany possibly. There was no fear of the women's Money in the Bank cashing in the same night. Okay, good. There was fear of the men's was going to happen in the exact same night, but nothing for the women. No. Couldn't do, Tiffany versus Nia part 3. No. Tiffany versus maybe like Tiffany versus Nia and Jay to be crazy. Maybe like Tiffany versus Chelsea. I'd have took that. Tiffany versus anybody really. Like we couldn't do any of this, right? No. Okay. Got it. Impromptu match for the men. Not an impromptu match for the women. Got it. Okay. Impromptu tag match. You weren't doing shit with Liv Morgan and Raquel. You couldn't put Liv Morgan and Raquel on the show? No. Liv Morgan, Raquel versus like Secret Harvest. Ooh, cool tag match. Couldn't do Liv Morgan and Raquel versus like Io and Kyrie. I would have took that. I think that's fine. It's not much of anything, but it's fine. Io and Raquel, maybe like Io Raquel. Liv and Raquel impromptu versus like Sol Ruka and Zarya. I would have took that as well. No, okay. Let's go ahead and get on to the main event match of the night, which was John Cena and Redacted versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. When you say someone, like when you don't say someone's name, you say Redacted, it makes it like just pop in your head multiple times. That's why I kept saying their name slow, because I was like, don't say Redacted's name. Redacted looked like shit in this match, by the way. Hit that, literally missed a buckshot lariat. And when all y'all clown Hangman Adam Page for it, Logan, oh gosh. Redacted can't do it because he's not a wrestler. Don't talk about that stupid ass springboard moonsault either. It looked cool and all, but that's all he could do is spots. But overall, this is actually a really dang good match. John Cena was actually hooping in this match, looked a lot better. I don't know why him and Cody couldn't do this at WrestleMania for some reason. Cody Rhodes was carrying the match in my opinion. Jay was kind of just doing much of nothing in the match. He kind of was just there, which makes it even weirder as to why you even had him in the match to begin with. Because, like, I would have just took Cody Rhodes and Bad Bunny at this point. It would have made a lot of sense for Bad Bunny to go up against Redacted, seeing as Bad Bunny does not like Redacted. Because Redacted talking about how Redacted owns Puerto Rico and all that stuff. So, yeah. Yeah, Jay did much of literally nothing in this match besides a really good spear onto Redacted and a frog splash onto Redacted as well. But other than that, it was much of nothing until the end when Mr. Ron Killings showed up. Mr. Ron, because that wasn't R-Truth. That was not R-Truth. That was the man now known as Ron Killings. So R-Truth is not back, but Ron Killings is. Was Ron Killings ever in WWE? Was he just R-Truth? I think he might have just been R-Truth. So Ron Killings made his WWE debut. And it's hard to be fully happy about this. Not because, obviously, R-Truth. I love R-Truth. That's a national treasure right there. The eighth wonder of the world, in my opinion. It's just hard to be happy about this because of Triple H being a dumbass afterwards. Oh, my God. Dude, this guy Triple H makes it so hard to actually, he makes it so easy just to hate him as a person because he really is just such an unlikable human being. He really, really is. This guy said to a reporter that asked about, R-Truth actually being released and all that stuff. He said, "You enjoying the show? It's all part of the show." Like, shut the fuck. Like, no. He was really smug about it too. He's like, "You enjoying the show? It's all a part of the show." Like, shut your smug ass up, dude. You're so fucking corny. He's so fucking corny. That right there lets me know. Long-term storytelling. This man just loves long-term storytelling. He gets fucking excited off of it. Like, he's such a fucking loser. He's such a fucking loser. Like, oh my God, dude, just say the truth. We heard the fans. We heard y'all. Y'all wanted R-Truth back. Here you go. He's back. You know why you say that? Because it plays into what John Cena has been saying the whole fucking time about the fans being fickle. But the fans not knowing what they want. You bring R-Truth back, but you bring him back as Ron Killings. We're going to see how the fans exactly act with Ron Killings, because he's really great on the mic. Obviously, it's R-Truth. They're really great on the mic, but less comedic. He's not the same. He's not the same as R-Truth. So it's like, let's see how the fans act. Do the fans actually want R-Truth back, or did they want, are the fans going to be happy with R-Truth having a character change or not? He'll probably still be somewhat funny, but for the most part, he's going to be very much so more so serious. So it's like, let's see how that plays out. If, the fans start acting the way I expect the fans to act, plays right into what John Cena said. Perfect storytelling. Like, actually, do you even like long-term storytelling, or are you just fucking confused? Is this guy buy long-term storytelling? Like, what the hell is going on? Like, why would you not just say that instead of just acting like a fucking narcissist? He's a fucking dork. Like, when people call Tony Khan a nerd, mind you, definitely is a nerd for sure. Triple H is a fucking loser. He's a loser. He acts so corny all the time. Oh my gosh, dude, he acts like a fucking grown-ass man-child, and I cannot stand Triple H in the slightest. By the way, this was not a work by any means. This was not a work at all. R-Truth confirmed it, his son confirmed it, and multiple outlets confirmed that this was all talked about within like the past couple of hours of should they actually bring R-Truth back or not. So it's like, I don't know, man. And now there's multiple reports that Nick Khan actually stepped into this whole entire thing to get R-Truth back, so it makes it look like as if, Triple H was the one that had him fired because, hey, man, it's all a part of the show. Are you enjoying the show? Oh, my God. Yeah, no, it's like, because even if this what, like, what's even worse about this, though? Let's stick on the thing that it's possibly a work for 2 seconds. Let's just see how scummy Triple H actually is. So they released about 30-something wrestlers in the span of about 6 months. A lot of these wrestlers were fan favorites. Kaden Katana, Dakota Kai, Braun Strowman, Cora Jade. A lot of them were very much so fan favorites. Jakara Jackson as well. There's a few others from NXT that I'm forgetting, so my bad on those that I'm forgetting. But you released a lot of fan favorites, and then you released Carlito and R-Truth. If you're telling me this is a work, you're bringing back those wrestlers, right? Right? Like you're bringing all them back because it was a work. It was a work. Or did you release 30-something wrestlers to get the fans super upset at WWE, thinking that like they don't listen to they don't listen to the fans and all that stuff, or to really just play with their emotions more and more and more and more until it came time to release R-Truth, so the fans would just be so overly hurt. And then you bring them back? That's the work? Is that you had to make us, you had to make it so real to where you release all these wrestlers, like you actually release wrestlers? That's the work? Like, that's what y'all are saying is a work, by the way. Is that they played with people's real lives, releasing people, making it to where they cannot support their families financially. Oh, Shotzi and Sonya and Deville. Those are the two I'm going to talk about. And Gigi Dolan and all them. So it's like, you played with people's real live money. You're taking people's money. You're taking money from people so they can't support their families. This is the work. This is the work, y'all. If that's the work, that, mind you, Triple H is saying this. He's saying this. And y'all that love to just go, yes, Papa H, yes, Papa H. All those that love to just two-hand glaze and ride the man's meat stick. This is what y'all are saying. This is what y'all are saying was a work. That this man took money from out of people's pockets, took food off of kids' plates just to make everybody feel something. Just to make everybody get super overly emotional when R-Truth is released. My nigga, you gotta be a fucking dumbass to believe that we need all these wrestlers released just to feel hurt and feel that WWE is going in the wrong direction with R-Truth being released. Like, we did not need all that. We did not. Nobody needed that. I didn't need Dakota Kai, Braun Strowman, Gigi Dolan, Sonya Deville, Shotzi, and Cora Jade, and all these other wrestlers. I did not need them released just to feel something when R-Truth got released. I didn't need it. All you simply had to do was release R-Truth, and I would have been hurt and felt that WWE was going in the wrong direction. Matter of fact, you ain't even need to do that. Just go ahead and keep throwing up more fucking ads all over the screen. Throw more ads on the props. Throw more ads onto reels. You threw an ad onto a Stephanie Valkyria reel, which technically speaking, that's an ad in itself. What the like, I did not need all of this. So for those of y'all that are agreeing that this was a work by Triple H, buddy, this is sick. This is disturbing. This is the levels he's willing to go to make people believe a story. That's not right. That's sick fucking work if that's the case. But we can't even say that it's not a work because Triple H told us to shut the fuck up and just enjoy the show. Triple H told us that he doesn't pivot. So if he doesn't pivot, then that means this is all a work. This is fucking, like, this is... It wasn't a work. We know damn well it wasn't a work. R-Truth was actually released. His contract was actually ending this year. We already knew that. But in Triple H's eyes, it was a work. So in WWE's eyes, it was a work. See, and this is why when people say that, like, oh, you just hate WWE for no reason. You hate WWE for no... First of all, I don't hate WWE, okay? I don't hate WWE. There's things about WWE that I hate. Number one is Triple H. It's not TKO. I hate Triple H. I can't stand this motherfucker. I actually fucking hate him with a glaring, burning passion. I hate every single aspect of this man. I hate the fact that the first 10 NXT takeovers, you had 3 black wrestlers in the first 10 NXT takeovers. No, my bad. You had 5. 3 of them were the same person, and one of them I'm not even freaking sure is actually black, so you might have only actually had 2. Because I don't think I don't know if Juice Robinson is actually black or not. I'm completely confused when it comes to Juice Robinson. Yeah, no, I don't know if he's actually black or not. But then you have multiple upon multiple wrestlers getting just the worst absolute pushes in the fucking world. Carmelo Hayes is an absolute star, could be a star, but you don't want to push the guy at all for some damn reason. We got this guy, you know, telling everybody to put the fries in the bag, bro. Hey, man, put the fries in the bag, bro. Got a big ass fucking chain. He's with The Miz now, who, mind you, The Miz, if this was a work, why is The Miz taking time off? Because he's in a whole fucking storyline with Carmelo Hayes. So why take time off and then not be on Friday Night SmackDown? So meaning Melo can't be on Friday Night SmackDown. Like, what? What? No. Look how he books the women's division. It's booked absolutely fucking horribly. Look at he's the one that is responsible for the Saudi deal, not Vince McMahon. Now we got to get dumbass shows in Saudi Arabia, which none of the women even like being there because of the fact that it's super fucking hot because you know they have to wear it'd be all completely covered up because Saudi Arabia is a weird ass fucking country. I don't care. By the way, if you're from Saudi Arabia and you want to get pissed at me, I really don't give a fuck. Fuck you and your country. I fucking don't care with the way y'all like treat women over there. I just do not care. So it's like we have that. We have all of this bullshit happening. We have the bullshit with The Rock, where they're trying to keep The Rock down. Him and Shawn Michaels. We have the bullshit with him and that group. I forgot what the name of the group was. Doing blackface and all that stuff. Y'all want me to like this man? No, it starts with him. I cannot fucking stand Triple H. I hate this guy with a burning passion. I hate Vince McMahon more just because he's a sick human being. He's done a lot of weird stuff too. But at least his racism was like, it was business first, racism second. If you were racist, like if you were black and you brought something to the table, that man was going to push you to the absolute moon. Bobby Lashley, Big E, Kofi Kingston, New Day, etc. This guy Triple H, though, if you're black, he's just not going to give a fuck about you if you're a black dude. Like if you're a black man, he just does not care in the slightest. Black women, he has a weird fetishization of black women, so he does care. Black men, though, he does not care at all. We know he has a weird fetishization of black women, by the way. Look at the way he's spoken about Shamel multiple times. So, yeah, no. I cannot stand Triple H in the slightest. I really hope one day that he is fired from this job. I want him gone from WWE. That's why I'm actually rooting for TKO to get Triple H to fuck on out of there. I would rather have The Rock in charge. I don't think The Rock's any better. I think he's he's very much so egotistical as well. But I would just much rather have well, actually, I don't want The Rock in there because he can't tell a damn storyline. I just want somebody else in there that's just, one, not connected to the damn McMahon family, and two, is not a former overrated wrestler who y'all hyped the fuck up because he was a grown-ass little kid that said, suck it, suck it, suck it, suck it. That man could not wrestle in the ring to save his damn life, and he could not speak on the mic either. The only thing he really ever had was Stephanie McMahon by his side. Yeah, no, he's completely ass. But speaking of Triple H, I guess we can actually go into the Shotzi and Sonya Deville stuff because it makes a lot of sense to actually go into this direction. Oh yeah, he also released multiple LGBTQ plus wrestlers. Like I think most of them are actually gone from the roster now, but he brought in Mariah May for some reason, so that's weird. But yeah, no, I guess speaking of LGBTQ plus wrestlers as well, I don't know about Shotzi. I know Sonya Deville obviously because she's married to a woman. I don't know about Shotzi, so I'll just keep that one up in the air. But Shotzi and Sonya Deville were on Sonya's podcast. I'll put the name of the podcast up on the screen. I don't know the actual name of the podcast. I only seen like a clip of it. It was on Sonya Deville's page. It was about Sonya and Shotzi talking about how they wanted to be in NXT a lot longer, felt like they could use a lot more ring experience, and that they were called up early. And I think that just, that continues to just, and that like just backs everything that I think a lot of WWE fans have said, that during the Vince era, during the Triple H era, a lot of wrestlers do get called up way too early. You had Nia Jax get called up too early, in my opinion. I think Carmella was called up a bit too early. I think I actually talked about it on the podcast before. I did a whole segment on it about Nia Jax being called up way too early, and like actually rating that whole entire 2016 class or the 2016 call-ups and all stuff, which we're gonna do another one by the way on the podcast very, very soon. I forgot to do a damn indie spotlight of the week. Oh my gosh. Okay. It'll be a weekly, not so weekly indie spotlight of the week. My gosh, man. I just had a whole lot of stuff happening this week. I am so sorry, y'all. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry to the indie wrestlers too. Oh my goodness, man. But yeah, no. We where was that? With the whole the call-ups and all that stuff. But there have been a lot of wrestlers that I think have gotten screwed over by just getting called up way too early. I think American Alpha is one of them. Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, I think they were called up just a bit too early, in my opinion. I think if you look at as of recent, Kaden and Katana were probably called up a bit too early. I think Shotzi was definitely called up way too early. She was not ready to be on the main roster as of yet. You called up Gigi Dolan and then pretty early too, and then like sent them right back down to NXT for some reason. I could even say a world where I think Stephanie and Julia might have been called up to, especially Julia. Stephanie, I think she had, like the momentum and all that stuff, so you want to just strike while the iron's hot and all that, so that's fine. But I think Julia was definitely called up a bit too early. She could have benefited from a few more, maybe like another year or so on NXT. I know you're bringing in Mariah May, but that's fine. You could quite literally run Julia versus Mariah May again. Like, that makes no sense, especially if you're going to make Mariah May a face and you could have Julia be the heel this time. I think in Stardom, Mariah May actually was the face as well and Julia was the heel. Yeah, she was the Beautiful Madness back then as well. So it's like, I definitely understand what Sonya and Shotzi are saying, because I think that WWE has a very inconsistent way of calling up wrestlers. Like, Obafemi probably should have been called up already. You didn't call him up, but you're calling up Stephanie, Julia, and Jordan Grace because you wanted to just clear the roster room. I mean, because you want to, because you want to clear the locker room so that Mariah May can be the biggest star in the locker room. Okay, cool, I guess, but it feels kind of stupid. But then you're not calling up Trick Williams, Wesley, Obafemi, Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, Lexis King, and probably a few others. But then you call up Fraxium. So it's like, it's so odd who they choose to call up and then who they don't choose to call up. Like, I don't really get it in a sense. It feels like as if it's so inconsistent. Like, what is, I mean, obviously we're probably never going to know the requirement for somebody being called up from the NXT roster. Is it like at least a thing of just, is it need? Like, is that what it is? Like, you just really need somebody to be called up for this division? But then you need somebody called up for the mid-card division. Because, like, Wes Lee could be called up to go against Dominic Mysterio if you want to turn him back to a face. Wes Lee could be called up as a heel to go up against Jacob Fatu. Now Jacob Fatu has turned heel on, or has turned on Solo Sikoa, so he's likely going to be a face. So it's like, why not have? So it's like, why not call up Wes Lee? Why not? I mean, Obafemi's probably the one where maybe you're like, I don't know if you want to call him up yet because you have so many guys you're trying to build up right now with Braun Breaker and all of them that if you call up Obafemi, it's another big guy to the roster. And you're kind of already, like, you know, struggling with Gunther and with LA Knight and with Drew McIntyre. So it's like, do you want to call up Obafemi? I think this is where it also comes into play of just make NXT a third brand. You have Evolve now. Just make NXT a third brand. Oh, my God, you have Kelly Armstrong on Evolve, too. I don't know when the hell you're going to call her up, but I think she's ready, in my opinion. She's an absolute beast. But it's like, I think it should just be a thing of you just make NXT your third major brand. I don't know why you don't do it. Clearly, WWE, you need to do it. I think, the even more obvious thing is, I said it a while back about like a wrestling a league for 2K. Just make a wrestling league for WWE. Raw, SmackDown, TNA, AAA, NXT. Evolve would be like your G League, so you can send any of your wrestlers from any one of these major promotions down there. You could even include Noah if you want to as well, because you do have a lot of wrestlers from Noah coming on over to NXT. So it's like, you clearly have enough for a league. I mean, at least for the start of a league. The WNBA and the NBA and all these other sports, they started out with like very little teams and they got more teams over time. I don't know why you don't start this now. I mean, I guess, do you only have one championship? No, maybe not. No, I don't think so. But I think you could have like wrestlers going over to like different brands and all that stuff, trying to get those belts and all that. I think you could do something like that. Because then, like, I feel like your mid-card scenes would be very much so fleshed out. Like, we could easily have Kalani Jordan going to feud with, like, you know, one of your mid-carders in Raw or SmackDown. You could have someone from TNA going over there as well. You could have wrestlers from Raw and SmackDown going to TNA or NXT if they really, really need to. And if you don't want, you don't want like your super duper mega stars over there like Cody and all them for some stupid fucking reason. You don't need them to go over there, but I would do it if you're having a wrestling league. Like, TNA has a world championship. You could make the NXT championship a world championship. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming this is what WWE might be trying to do, but they also might just be trying to get the Japanese and Mexican independent scenes just for WWE and just, you know, buy out TNA. But I think WWE should just do this now, man. I think it is time, because you have too many wrestlers in NXT that are ready to be on the roster that you cannot call it a developmental brand anymore. You just can't. Like, Tony D'Angelo should have been called up by now. Obafemi, I said, Trick Williams, Wes Lee, all these wrestlers, like, there's a few more too that definitely should have probably been called up by now that you're just not really calling up. And you have a lot of wrestlers from Raw and SmackDown that sometimes go to NXT. You have wrestlers on Raw and SmackDown that do need to be in NXT, like the likes of Maxine Dupree. You could even say B-Fab needs to be there. So it's just like, I think WWE just needs to, it's just time. You need to do the wrestling league. You need to just make it one, like, under just one WWE banner. You literally just call it the like the WWE or whatever the hell you want to call it. And I think it's just time. I think that it's just time. Obviously, some of these promotions have different wrestling styles, but that's fine though. The WWE crowd was thoroughly enjoying AAA's crowd, I think. So, I mean, was enjoying AAA's style. And to be fair, teams in other leagues, like sports leagues, they don't all have the same style of play. So I think that's fine in my opinion. But all right, let's go ahead and get on to the last topic of the day. My throat is absolutely killing me. I might end up taking like a little week off next week and just posting some like shorter, less podcasty kind of clips. So we'll see. But I'll kind of like keep y'all updated and all that stuff on like YouTube or Discord or anything like that. So link in the description for everything. But the last topic of the day is about Collision, because it looks like AEW, or not AEW, well, AEW and Warner Bros. Are possibly moving it from Saturday to another day. And I think it's just time to say, you know what, let's go head to head with TNA. I think it's just time, man. You're trying to do it with Ring of Honor. It's just not working. I think Saturday is not really a good day because you have a lot of NBA finals. You have a lot of, not even just NBA finals, but you have NBA playoffs, NBA finals. You have NFL playoffs. I don't think you have the Super Bowl on a Saturday. No, it's usually on a Sunday. But I think, did it fall on a Saturday this year? No, it's a Sunday. You have the MLB playoffs. You have the NHL playoffs. I don't think you have the Stanley Cup on a Saturday, but I could be wrong about that. I think you do have the World Series sometimes on a Saturday. So it's like you have a lot of sports shows on Saturdays that you're just not competing with. That's why Money in the Bank was on a Saturday and not on a Sunday, because the finals is on, the NBA finals on a Sunday. So it's like, and then with AEW, you're probably not going to put your show on a Saturday with, a dang WWE PLE. So it's like, I say just move it to Thursday. You got to go head to head with TNA, but that's fine, whatever. Who cares? Mind you, TNA is not even on TV, whereas Collision is on TV, so it's fine. And I think there's another world that you could do, or another thing you could possibly do with this, which is put Ring of Honor after or before Collision. I think maybe before Collision, because usually Collision runs overtime. Same thing with Dynamite. That's why I wouldn't put Ring of Honor after either the shows. Maybe before the shows. That might possibly work. Or move Ring of Honor to Saturdays and do it like, just do that after the finals and all that stuff, or whatever, major sport thing is going on, because it's Ring of Honor. I mean, you're not really caring about it to begin with, but it's also going to get a lot of possible publicity from one of these sports networks that are going to be saying, afterwards, watch Ring of Honor on wherever the heck you're watching it on, if you can get on TV. But if you can't, then you're not going to get much, time for it. So I guess that's probably one of the reasons why they do keep it on Saturdays, Collision, because of the fact that on TNT, all that stuff, NBA and all these other promotions, all these other companies, whatever, these sports companies, sports leagues, they'll promote it and stuff like that. So there is that. I just think it's probably time to get off a Saturday if you got to keep moving it, because I'll be real with you, man. I'm not trying to do these 4-hour fucking shows anymore. Not no damn 4-hour regular show. I'm back-to-back weeks, too. Nah, bro, I can't do that. I might not be able to watch all the summer blockbuster, man, especially with Collision being ass most of the time, or at least not ass, but especially with the way Collision's been as of lately. I'm cool, man. I'm not about to watch no 4-hour show if I'm not getting, if I'm not getting at least 4 hours of amazing content, man. It's just Collision, they don't always be doing that. This past Collision, like I said, it was not the greatest by any means. It had its moments where it looked really great, but it was not the greatest by any means. So it's nah, man. I think just put Collision on a Thursday and then just, be able to go back-to-back days. Might also help the storylines as well, because AEW doesn't do repeating what the storyline is in their promos and all that stuff, and their announcers and all that stuff, like how WWE does. So it's it might be able to help, newer fans or just fans in general who are the casual fan really get into it, because of the fact that now you have, the storylines right next to each other instead of a couple days apart. So it's much easier to forget about. That might help it as well. Also, we have another 4-hour show on July 2nd. Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's too much. If it was on Wednesday, Thursday, I think it'd be much better. Maybe it is too close, why you want to go a couple days apart from each other, but you're not. What other day? Because you can't go before Wednesday. You're probably not going to go Friday because of WWE. You're not going to go Sunday because, WWE usually uses those for PLEs. So it's either Saturday or Thursday. And I think Thursday would just be a much better day. Again, I know TNA's there, but you already have a TNT deal. So I think it's fine. I don't know if anything comes on TNT during that time, but if AEW is easily just able to get days on Thursdays, and I don't think it's that much of an issue. I think they should just move it over to Thursday. For me personally, I'd be much happier about it on Thursday than I would Wednesday. I guess it would kind of suck for me uploading wise, but no, it actually wouldn't, because then I wouldn't really, have much to do on a Saturday because of the fact that I'd be able to just record that day or go live or something like that. So Yeah, no, for me it's actually fine, and I think it would be much better during the week because like I mean the weekend is cool, you know, you like you had to chill out, watch some Collision on Saturday and all that, so it's pretty cool. But man, the 4 hour shows are just what does it. And it's like if they weren't doing the 4 hour shows, maybe I wouldn't be so mad about them. Like if they were just constantly switching over to Thursday, but then you got to remember that switch over to Thursday, so a lot of people forget that. I think if you're just consistently on one day and on consistently on a day, it just helps. And with them having to keep switching back and forth between Saturday and Thursday, I say just do Thursday. Makes a lot more sense. And you know what? Just put Ring of Honor on YouTube. Once again, gonna keep saying it. Put Ring of Honor on YouTube. It makes so much sense. But that's gonna be it for me though, y'all. I definitely hope y'all did enjoy this episode. As always, if you did, like, subscribe, notification bells, all that great stuff. That definitely does help out the podcast. Whether you're on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts at, the liking, the following, all that great stuff. Shout out to all the Patreon subs. Once again, y'all definitely are helping the channel out in a way that y'all would not realize. But that's it for me though, y'all. I'm out. Y'all have a great one. Peace, everybody. Bye, y'all.